Hey y'all, this is Allison. I'm not actually hanging out in my space to craft. I'm hanging out at my retreat. And this is the first page that I did when I got there and got settled in. So you can see it's a different desk than I usually use. And I tried to be super conservative with the items that I brought, just my page kits and a few tools. So this page kit is also for Ginger's Corner Dining Around the World or Cuisine Around the World challenge. And I am doing Vietnam pho. And the requirements are that it is a layout about a special person and that you use some cinnamon cardstock. So I'm going to be using the cinnamon colored paper at the top of the screen for some matting. So that's my cinnamon paper. And it's a layout about Father's Day with my daughter and my dad. So really two special people, but they were very special to each other. So I have this kit. It's all made up of different creative memories, different collections. And I know I want to do, I love this teal, and my daughter's got some teal in her dress. And then I wanted to do some of these neutrals because my dad is wearing a neutral shirt and stuff like that. So I'm sitting here thinking, what do I want to do? I know I want to start by doing curtains on either side. So I'm going to do 4 inches on each, on this one piece of paper. And I really only have 2 full sheets of paper, and then I have that fancy, super large stamp cutout, stamp-shaped cutout. So I'm struggling a little bit with how to make this work. I have the 2 vanilla pieces of cardstock. So here I'm like, what do I want to do? Do I want to create some big blocks? And then how do I incorporate that big stamp, this one? So I'm just struggling here a little bit. What I end up doing is, rather than taking you guys through all the torture, I end up turning off the camera and just cutting all those pieces in half, those 2, pretty much in half, and then figuring out how I want to lay them out after that. So here they are, they're just cut in half, and now I'm going to play with them. Well, not quite half. It looks like I cut one a little bit smaller than half. So I'm thinking of doing sort of an offset look, but not quite symmetrical. So I like that. That gives me some layers. I still have some of the vanilla showing. And rather than making that a curtain full on the other side, that's going to end up getting scooted in. But because of the angle of the camera, it looks like that is narrower than the other side, but it's not. They're both 4 inches. So I'm thinking that might be the answer right there. So a little bit of vanilla still showing on the pages, and then I have to decide, do I want to carry that one piece over to the other side or not? And I don't think I'm going to. So I had initially thought I would overlap on the left, and I'm just going to overlap the stamped image. So I'm kind of liking that. That's my plan now. And then I just need to select some photo mats. I'm going to end up using this, cutting this in half and just using it as an extra partial layer behind some of the photos. And then I want to lighten that up, so I'm going to use that beige. So I went off also, I knew I had a note to myself that I wanted to make an ice cream cone because I have an ice cream die. Why not use it? So here I cut all the pieces. I did bring my Spellbinders small die machine, and then a small selection of my dies, some alphas, a few words, and then a few images. I knew I wanted this ice cream image, so I brought this one. So now I just need to figure out where that's going to live. So I'm happy with that ice cream. I am going to, when I get home, add some sprinkles. I didn't bring them with me, but I have some multicolored sprinkles, and I'm going to put those on there. And I think that's going to look cute. A little flash of color. And then I had pulled these letters, and they're kind of cinnamon colored too, but they're not cardstock, but so I think I'm going to go all the way down the page, and I end up changing that. And I'm going to say Father's Day. I could have said Dad's Day if I wanted alliteration, but you know, the official name is Father's Day. So I'm doing this. I don't like the look of that. It's hard to read. So I'm going to make a little bit of a change there. I had trouble finding the Y. It was on the page with the numbers. So now I'm going to see if I can fit this on here this way. A few little adjustments. These do stick, but they're really movable, so I was happy with that. So I like that look a little bit better. A little more condensed. Title. And now I think it's time to embellish. So I have a few wordy bits. This camera I liked. I think that's from Vicky Boutin. I have a little tag that says you and me. So I'm just auditioning things around, trying to decide what might go where. I have that little vellum heart. I have a vellum tag too. I don't think that vellum tag makes it onto the page though. So I'm wondering if the ice cream should go at the bottom. I could have made it, but I wanted it to really be highlighted a little bit. And I have lots of other things to go at the bottom there. I am trying to use up some of these clear stickers from Creative Memories. I have so many of them, of titles and words, and I just don't, sometimes I want color on there, but this is a good place to use these brown stickers. I had pulled this and thinking it matched, but overall it matches, but the specific ones, not as many of them match. But I did find this one that had browns and teal on it. So I think that's going to become an element. Then I need to start committing things. I cut that because I just didn't like, there were none of the dots were showing there at the bottom. It just looked like plain paper. So here I'm going to make a few hearts out of these scraps, just so there is a few more elements to play with as embellishments, and that way that this is a sort of a shimmery cream paper, and that will appear elsewhere on the page as well. So I think that's helpful. And then I think instead of just one heart here and there, I think layering the hearts is helpful as well. I like a little stack of hearts. And there's a second vellum piece. that picture that I'm working with right now is one of my very favorite pictures of them together of all time. I just adore that picture. They both look so happy in it. They were really close. They love each other a lot. He passed away about a year ago. I know that she misses him. So I like creating that little diagonal, and then it ties in the strip of photos on the side. Those photos are all 3.5 by 3.5. And I just trimmed the photos. I trimmed the extraneous material out of the photos, so I don't know the exact size of the photos on the left side of the page. The one on the right is right just under 4 by 6. I trimmed a little bit of it off just so it wasn't so much bigger than the 3.5 by 3.5s. So I'm liking that better, and having, you know, some stacks. And so this is sort of a triangle if you count the top of both pages as one element. Then you go from down, up, and then back down. And it sort of weaves you across the page, which I kind of like. So you have the title, and then down to the bottom, and then back up and across, and then back down. So I kind of like that. And one more heart, because why not? I think I realize I may have forgotten to ink some of them. And I did not have enamel dots for this, but so I'm going to use Nuvo drops, and I have 3 different ones that I think will work for this. So a copper, a brown or an antiqued copper, and a, we'll call it pearl, a lighter color. And then I decided I really wanted to pop some things up and add a little dimension to the page. Especially this ice cream. It was feeling a little, I guess, lumpy because it wasn't sticking all that great. So popping it up gives it a little more substance and dimension. So here I'm just going in with some very large Nuvo drops, 1 in each color. And I'll set that over and let it dry. And we'll do some close-ups. So please give this video a thumbs up. I've got lots more page kits to make this weekend on my retreat. So there'll be plenty of pages, and I'm also working on an embellishment swap for Ginger's Corner. I don't know if I'll get to finish it this weekend because I didn't bring all the tools I needed, but I've got plenty to do. Thanks a lot, you guys, and come back soon.